Now you can see here I have already begun sealing the cardboard with hot glue, and I'm pretty generous with the glue because see how like there's an opening there? I like to, put down a pretty thick layer of glue so that it falls into every nook and cranny and it seals it, because cardboard cuts are real and they hurt because they're worse than a paper cut. So I take my hot glue gun and I just do like big chunky bits of glue like that, and they fill in all the nooks and crannies, and it allows for not only to keep things nice and sealed, because like it holds the flooring down. It'll also protect whoever's moving the diorama around, especially if it's like heavy, because this one, despite it being cardboard, because it's such a thick cardboard, it can, and with all this added weight, all this hardwood made it even heavier. So like these corners here, like she could get really scratched up if she really tried, or without even trying, I should say. So I like to seal all the cardboard in with glue, and what's nice too is you can even paint it. That way, you can't see all of the glue. All you see is just a layer of paint, and that too gives the room an overall nice finish. So you can see here I've got a pile of cardboard cut out. There's different types of cardboards. They come in all different kinds of thickness. This really thick cardboard is the kind that I prefer to make the actual walls and floor of a diorama, because like I said, a couple layers of this and it's really sturdy and it lasts a really long time. But when it comes to doing stonework on the outside, I have two different methods. I can either do the hot glue stones, which looks, well, it looks different, right? So when I put the glue stones on here, I can paint them and make them look really real. And then the other method that I use is actual cardboard, and I cut them. I round the corners, and basically the shape of the piece that I'm using is the shape of the rock, and it's almost like a puzzle piece. And so I'll just start layering them. I usually start at the bottom and go up. And so for doing stonework on the outside of a diorama, they're also really easy to paint. And because they're thicker than the hot glue, I can it leaves me, little openings that I can add stuff to, like the moss and things like that, so that it looks like the moss is growing in through the stones. That's how I achieved that look for Allison's interchangeable wall. If you guys have seen that video, that seems to be her favorite wall. It's my favorite wall too, and that's how I achieved that look, is because I used the cardboard stones as opposed to the hot glue stones. So that's what I'm going to do on the back, so that she can flip the room around and have a variety of different, spaces to take photos. This room is big enough that she could take it outside, and that way when she takes the photograph, she can have natural daylight as well. And so, like I mentioned before, there's different thicknesses of cardboard. I prefer these ones that are really soft, like I can bend them with my finger, because these are nice to go around corners like this, and then you can also cover up all this, ugliness with the stones. And then of course, when it's all painted, you won't see the paper line, you won't see any of that. You'll just see stone, and so it'll be a nice finishing touch For the outside, I know like her big diorama, like the very big first one that I made her, I didn't even bother finishing the outside because it was so big and it was already like a lot going on in the inside, and it was heavy, and like the more cardboard you add, the heavier the room gets. And this room is already pretty heavy because of the heavy duty cardboard that I used. So the stones will make it a little bit heavier, but like I said, it'll be a really nice finishing touch. So I am going to go ahead and start applying the stones. Well, it's 5:05 and I have been working on this part, including the glossing of the ceiling of the floor with the Mod Podge since this morning. I started about 9:30, and you can see that it took me all day to do this. I was planning on doing something back here as a surprise for her, but I didn't really know what. I knew I wanted to paint a hot air balloon, so this is my like base for it, and then I'm going to paint over it. After I paint the stones, I'm going to paint the stones first, and then of course the detail work will be last because I'll have to do this on top of the gray. And then I decided, why not write the word Blythe on there, because this is her Blythe room, and I looked up the original Takara Blythe logo, and since she's from, the early 60s and 70s, the writing looks very disco era, I guess, maybe is what I'm trying to say. Like everything's really loopy and stuff, and so I was able to replicate the word Blythe on there, and so I'm really excited how that turned out. And then of course that'll be painted probably white, maybe white and pink, after I do the gray scale on the stones first. So that will be tomorrow's project, and so hopefully I can get this done for Saturday, for when we get together, because I want her to have this so that she can photograph her beautiful girls. So I will see you guys in the next little bit. So I went ahead and did the gray base, leaving the word Blythe free of paint because I'm going to use lighter colors, and I didn't want to have to do several layers of paint, because if I would have done it all gray, the base would have been dark, and then I would have had to mix a lot lighter colors and do several layers to cover over the gray. So I just left it blank, and that way I can just go in with the light colors that I'm planning on using and not have to worry about doing several layers. And I left this, I'm gonna paint this balloon bigger, so I left a little bit more space on the outside around it, and then I'm just gonna basically trace each part with the paint and just make it bigger, because I wanted it to take up a little bit more space. So we'll see how that turns out. I also went ahead and painted all of the glued part that I filled in with the glue, so the whole area around is completely painted. See, so you can paint over the glue and it covers over all the flaws. I also did this top part here because I had that filled in with glue as well. So yeah, this is coming along. Like I said, this is probably the longest part, is the painting, because you do have to wait for it to dry. I apologize if you can hear my hens in the background cackling. They are crazy in the mornings because it's when they're all like trying to find each other, and they're all like laying in different spots, so they're all over the place. But anyway, yeah, so there's the paint job, the beginning of it anyway, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, here you can see I did a lot of the paint job already. I did a sky blue in the back, and then this like neon pink, which I wasn't even trying to get this shade of pink, it just kind of happened, but I like it, so I went with it. I did the balloon. I will be doing a lot more accents and details with white, so that it stands out. And I will also be aging or distressing the rocks as well, so that they look kind of faded. It's noon now, so this took me the entire morning, and my back is killing me, but it's worth it because I'm really excited about it, and I think she'll like it a lot. So I'm going to take a lunch break, and I will see you guys in a little bit. So it's about 5:45. I have literally spent all day on this room. I did take a lunch break, as you already know, but yeah, this is like seriously like the most intense work I've done on the outside. But I am pretty proud. It turned out better than I expected, so yay me. It looks really good. I'm like, the colors, I wasn't really even planning these particular colors, but they work really well together, so I'm really glad with how that turned out. And then the inside, I did a lot of work on the inside as well, as far as getting the staircase ready. I decided to just stick it on the end here, just 2 little steps, and then that way it won't be in her way. She can, you know, it'll be off to the side, and then all her main stuff will be in the middle. Now, this is not her bed. I just put that there just to give me a visual of what it would look like there. But I did, I got a fur rug, a faux fur rug for her. And then I added some of these just very simple curtains because the paper didn't line up properly here in the corner, and I wanted to cover that, and the paper was exposed here as well. So just 2 simple curtains. They can be removed carefully if she wanted to change them, so that's always an option for her. And then of course I got the artwork done, which I just used some foam board. I love foam board. And then I found these frames in a magazine, and I just cut the frames out and cut out the picture that was in them, and then just used the stickers that she sent me. And those turned out pretty cute. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put them up or not, because I might just leave them loose so that she can put them up wherever she wants when she, you know, decides to play with the room. But there's more. Oh, this lighting is terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, the artwork turned out really sweet. These stickers are pretty adorable. And they're real, you know, they're real Blythe dolls, so that's exciting too. And so that is my entire day in a nutshell. She did mention she wanted some shelves put up, so I might have to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, the last day that I have to work on this. Thank goodness it's just about done, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this process so far. I know this is a long video. Thanks for hanging in there if you've watched up until this point, and just stay tuned for the last little bit. Thanks so much. Okie dokie, guys, this is it. This is the last of it. I ordered some faux fur rug, which I cut off because, I ordered like a large piece, and then I just cut a section off for her. That way she can move it around wherever she wants. I did end up putting some very simple curtains to cover up the flaws. I'm not sure if I've already said this or not. I don't remember. I'll probably figure it out once I'm editing the video. But anyway, as you can see, I did go ahead and put up some of the artwork. I left a couple down so that she can put them wherever she wants, because everything on that wall is now permanent. But I think it looks really sweet. The stickers she sent me were just adorable, and I had a lot of fun making those little wooden frames, which I think, really brings the room together, because you've got the wood, basically everywhere, and then the paper itself, looks like you can see the wood worn through it. And so I think it really ties it together, those wooden little frames there. The books, of course, are faux books. I love to use white foam board because it looks like pages when you look at the top, because it's white. And so I just wrap them in different papers that go well together, and then I glue them, and it keeps the shelf, nice and strong too. And so yeah, that is basically the inside of it. I cannot wait to see how she adds all of her fun stuff to it. I'm really happy with the way the stairs turned out. I think the stairs are really fun, and she can turn the box and have it up against the back of the light box, and she can pose a doll like going up the stairs, so that'll be fun. And then as far as the back goes, I was back and forth about whether or not to distress the rocks like I usually do. But I went ahead and I left it like this. I think the dark gray against the sky blue, the pink, and the white, I like how crisp the stones look and how much the artwork stands out, because the stones are so just really sharp looking to me. So I did not distress the rocks. I think that would have taken away from the artwork that I spent a long time on. Like, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how many layers of paint are on these, the hot air balloon especially. But it did turn out really well, and I'm really happy. So I will post pictures at the end. And since I am waiting till after I give this to Allison, I will also include some of her photos in here so that you can see her dolls in the room if you don't follow her on Instagram or anything like that. So this will be it for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a long one, but this took me all week to make this room, and I usually don't focus on a room like that, but because I put myself in a time crunch, I made the best of the week, and start to finish I was able to get the room done, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that it's a very simple room compared to what I normally do. There wasn't any furniture to make, there wasn't any bedding, there wasn't anything, you know, extra to make. So because the room was so simple, it was easy for me to finish in a week's time. But usually my dioramas are a lot more complicated because I want to include furniture and things that they can, you know, move around and things like that. So like I said, this normally doesn't happen. It usually takes me a lot longer to make a diorama. The next commissioned order that I have for this lovely lady who's been very patient with me is going to be a lot more complicated than this one. So that one, of course, will take me a lot longer. But I also have to, you know, dedicate time to myself and my family and taking care of the house, because that is my responsibility. So I can't, I mean, if I could stay in my doll room all day, every day, you know, working on dioramas, I would, but that is not an option for me because I am a wife and a mother first. So, I hope that you guys, like I said, enjoyed this video. Please, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate all the followers. And I will be making more videos for you, more dioramas, more dolls. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!